This episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast is brought to you by pmtlifestyle.com, authentic Muay Thai lifestyle by Pu'u. Definitely go check out the website at pmtlifestyle.com for some awesome lifestyle merchandise. That's for those of you out there either involved in Muay Thai, looking at getting involved in Muay Thai, and embrace a healthier lifestyle to live the life of a Nak Muay. Go check it out. I got my friend David Chavez here today. We're just talking. It's rainy out in Santa Barbara. It's your first time at the Santa Barbara Academy too, yeah?
Yeah, but it is nice spot here, nice place.
Yeah. So I think you were on one of the first podcast episodes we did, right?
Yeah, just talking about how good of being a degenerate I am. And,
I mean, that is pretty accurate.
To a certain extent, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to turn my phone off so I don't get like some messages on here. Actually, I was talking to you about Discord too. I'm going to put it into the Discord for live chat. So if anybody's listening, if you heard the ding, that's what that is.
Yeah, you're telling me it's the new AOL, so you pick up the CDs at Vaughn's?
Yeah, you pick the CDs up at Vaughn's, and they send you 50 in the mail, every month.
You hear the dial-up tone when you're accessing it.
Yeah, so I'm just putting a broadcast out on here for everybody. The voice channel.
Discord, so it is is it the new Reddit or something, or what?
No, I mean, you can have chats, but they're more like it's the groups of people and their specific interests.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more expansive than Discord. More expansive than Reddit. Reddit's so spread out. Discord's you can have your own server, your own chat server, So I think that does pretty good job of being able to mass communicate with people.
Yeah.
So I had the Discord name Muay Thai Community. I got it early last year.
Mm-hmm.
On accident. Because I was trying to access a different server.
Yeah.
And it just happened to end up with it. So
what do you mean you access a different server? Are you
There's other servers that you can talk in. I'm in one for Muay Thai Policies. My friend Angela Cheng, who's out here. She had one. She wanted to get together a community of people to figure out remember we were talking yesterday about the disconnection between fighters, promoters, gyms, training centers, academies, and sanctioning bodies, those disconnects. So she was trying to get together what the disconnect is for between those, try to figure out what's happening. I have a questionnaire to collect some data. I think I told you about that yesterday.
Oh yeah. That survey thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I have that. I don't think it's in our Discord server yet, but I'll post it up in there.
So that's as far as her end. She's trying to just gather more data of the overall community, or are you trying to bring the community together, or she's trying to structure it? Or
no, just trying to get more feedback, how to make it a better experience for everybody. Yeah.
Not just at a gym, but at overall events, the community, everything.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Exactly. So, I think a lot of members that talk in this voice channel suspicious. They'll phone me until someone with a mute member's permission. Okay. Yeah, I don't want somebody to be able to just talk right now. Just to get more feedback, what's the barrier to entry for some people in the communities? What's some, what are things that promoters struggle with the fighters? We talked about that a little bit. What are some things that people who are in Muay Thai, what do they struggle with getting fights? What do they struggle with communicating with their coaches, or the coaches communicating with promoters, or getting matches, going to tournaments? Not everybody knows about these tournaments that are happening.
I see.
And just how can we better communicate that? And I think honestly, Discord could be a good way for it too, because so many people are on it. I mean, they have an app on their phone.
Yeah.
iPad. You can have it. I think it's even on Xbox and smart TVs and stuff now. Computers. It's you can do it in your web browser, and it's an easy chat client, just like we used to have with AOL Messenger, MSN, all that stuff too.
Got it.
So, but like you were saying, you don't ask for age, sex, location.
Oh, no ASL anymore?
No ASL anymore. No.
Got it.
Not that I've seen. Yeah. I think that would be like showing your age. They'd be like, okay, boomer.
So, oh, yeah, for sure. I know anything over 30 now, they think you're old.
Yeah. Yeah. But yesterday, I think it was a really good topic of conversation was, like, promoters. Like, we don't want to give away too much because it's a really good idea. But building amateur fighters in the U.S., so amateur and professional is different in other countries compared to the U.S. And it's due to the way boxing is regulated on a professional level in the United States. So you have, like, once you go pro in the United States, you can't go fight an amateur. That's how it is right now.
I see.
But in Mexico, everywhere, pretty much everywhere else in every other country in the world, you can fight professional events and you can fight amateur events, no problem. It's up front. Your fight record is not pro and amateur record. It's your totality of, like, how many fights you have in all.
Gotcha.
In everything.
So you're trying to say, like, I guess it's like the Lomachenko approach, right? Where he had like 100 and something amateur fights before he even turned pro.
So, but the thing is, they only show his pro record, but that's why people are like, man, this guy's going to be one of the greatest of all time. Yeah. Like, well, you know, because they use the argument of, like, was it Amir Khan was an Olympic gold medalist, and he went in and he got chin checked in professionals, and people all of a sudden, oh, he has one loss, he's washed up. It's like, no, man, get out of here. Just because he has one loss doesn't make him washed up.
But you know what, that kind of, like, I guess the kind of speaking how you were saying earlier, how there's different promotion events and I guess different categories as far as competing in Muay Thai, because, I mean, you have some with elbow pads, shin pads, headgear.
Well, yeah, the whole model that, like, Europe has. So they start them off at kids. So the kids, they start off no head contact. It's like experience class. Just get experience. They do decisions. Or you could say D class. So no head contact. They're not trying to knock each other out. They'll stop the bout if they're outclassed. Is to get experience. These kids will get, like, 20 or 30 of these before they get into, like, head contact stuff.
I see.
Yeah, when they're, like, 14, 15, 16 years old, they start introducing head contact. And then they're still wearing the chest guard. They're wearing all the same equipment. And they're not throwing elbows yet, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think they should be able to throw elbows right away because it is Muay Thai with, like, elbow pads.
I mean, my whole argument to that is if you can throw a head kick, why can't you throw an elbow?
Exactly. And it's like, hey, no knees to the face, I get it, because there's no knee pad or anything. It's really easy to mess somebody up with a knee to the head, especially a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
And then going into, like, so that'd be like D class, that's like C class, okay? And then you go into B class where they take, the shin guards off, they take the headgear off, you keep the elbow pads on, you keep the gloves on, no headgear. And there's still no knees to the head. Or you can knee to the head, it depends, like, at that point.
Yeah, but I think if that's just someone that's grown up in it, maybe like came in at the age of 6, 7, maybe even 10. I think that's kind of what it applies. But I think for the common person that might kind of pull up at a place like this almost at 18.
They can do more D class fights then. More C class.
Which is, I think it's like, didn't you guys recently go to a tournament where it was like headgear, shin pads? Or no shin pads?
Yeah, shin pads.
Yeah, shin pads.
The fights you saw without shin pads, you're talking about the Muay Thai Open, right?
Yeah.
So the fights without shin pads, those were a different promotion that was being hosted at the same event, which is a funny story.
Yeah, which, I mean, to, like, the common person, if they ever feel like competing, I think that might be a good start. Or what kind of sucks is, like, I don't know if those really apply to your record, you know what I'm saying? Because
they should.
Yeah.
They should, but the thing is, it's going to be different between somebody who has 3 fights all tournament in one weekend compared to somebody who's had 3 fights that are all fight nights where they train like 6 weeks for them individually and had space in between to develop more skill. Sorry.
Yeah, but as far as building fighters up and stuff like that, I think those are good options. Or some people might not even think that's an avenue because people might think like, oh, it might just go straight to bare knuckle brawling, biting people in the ear or something. And
wait, what do you mean?
Like as far as like people understand that there's options, like you could compete, not necessarily like full contact with elbows and stuff like that. I think some people's understanding or interpretation of like you're gonna fight is like, all right, the knives come out, and I mean sometimes there's kind of a, I guess, an easier route to gain experience or at least get those jitters off of you. You know?
I get it because they don't want to like punish people for going in and trying more.
Yeah, there's some people who just want to do it once, and it's like they don't want to make this obviously like their career. But then you have those savages who do want to, be in the record books, and I mean either way, if they do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, they'll get there.
But it's like, how do you develop people long term though to go pro? Like one of the things we have right now is you have all these high level amateurs and they don't want to go pro because then they're not going to have experience. So because the way our culture is here in the U.S. is really it's fucked up.
Well, yeah, but
it throws a wrench in like our pro development.
But you know what? I think to speak on that, obviously, like I think when everybody compares like a fighting athlete, you compare it to like the boxing, right? Where it's like even you have a UFC and boxers, right? Like the number one pound for pound boxer makes 10 times more what the top.
Oh yeah, because it's such an older sport too, though. That's the thing. So much more developed.
True. I mean, older. I wouldn't say it's older than Muay Thai.
No, but I mean in the regards to like regulation, promotions, in like on an national and international level here in our country.
Yeah, for sure.
And in Europe too.
Yeah, I would say it's just. I mean, I don't really know what the boxing approach is, but I mean, boxing is kind of built in the culture here. Obviously, Muay Thai is built in the Thai culture, and then in other like Dutch culture and stuff like that too now. But I think what you need to do, I guess, in order to push the sport forward is obviously focus more on the gyms and two, the fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think promotions come and go, like they have for years. But I think that, gyms and fighters are the ones that stay, even though it's it's a different breed, a different generation of it. But that's actually what pushes it forward, I would say.
Yeah. Like, what would you say? Like, I know there's a tournament in Iowa, so they're allowing pros to fight in the A class. How do you feel about that?
Like I said, any type of experience or exposure is good. For the sport.
And people always argue like, well, pros don't want to fight for free. That's why they're fighting pro. But the reality is, I've seen pro fighters like, I don't care, just give me a fight.
Yeah,
like I'll fight for free.
That's the savagery. Yeah, those are the dudes that they would have just knifed a dude in the alley if they could.
Well, I think that's why you see so much hunger in the amateurs because they know they're fighting for free, and they're not getting paid, and they're just game to go throw in. And at some point, they realize, like, oh, I should be getting paid for this. And I agree. It's like, hey, maybe you get paid half the time you fight.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, obviously what you want in your late teens and your early 20s, essentially as you're going into your mid-20s, I would say, which is the life cycle of a fighter, you kind of want to get compensated for this art that It's like...
that you spend all this time.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a sketchbook full of sketches, eventually you want to get paid for your portraits,
Yeah.
And that's what people are putting on at that level at that point, so...
Yeah, I
understand that too, and I mean everybody would want to get compensated because if you want to keep the dream going, you need to actually have some fuel. And when you're younger, your hopes and dreams and living under a bridge, you're even willing to do that. But eventually, once you're mastering your art, you kind of want to get compensated for it, which isn't the purpose or the reason why you start. But
you should be paid for your craft because it is a skill. Like I know I've heard you talk to people about this before. It's like people sometimes they're like, oh, I want to learn everything now. You're like, dude, give it like 3 years.
Yeah, that's where I always say the whole Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu factor, right? I think you fall in love with the art of it a lot quicker than Muay Thai or boxing with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? Because you start using your mind, you start using your spirit and your effort a lot sooner.
A lot sooner. Yeah. Well, so that makes sense because in Muay Thai you're not sparring right away.
You're not. Yeah, it takes a while.
You're not really drilling right away either.
And I would consider like the first falling in love with the sport is when you do like either your first slip or you like check your first kick. Because it's like you're automatically doing it. You're not even thinking about it. You're just in the flow state.
Yeah. I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really when you fall in love with it. And then I think it kind of clicks in your head where it's not just the physical, it's also the mental, and like they're kind of working together, and you're putting the pieces to the puzzle. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like all of a sudden you like dodge a punch as a reaction, you know what I'm saying? Like this kind of like, when you're breathing in and out, you're not noticing it, but all of a sudden you dodge one or you slip one, and that's, I think, when you get bit by the bug.
Yeah.
But in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I think you feel that a lot sooner because, one, you are rolling with people. Like, that's pretty much the way to start learning is to literally have contact, right? So, all of a sudden you hit your first arm bar or whatever, or, you do your first pass, and then all of a sudden you kind of get bit by the bug. But...
yeah. Sorry. Man, this shouldn't be going on. I'm trying to get it on the stream our podcast on TikTok also. If anybody's listening,
On TikTok?
TikTok live. So live Muay Thai podcast.
I've never been on TikTok.
You haven't?
No.
Man, well, if you're a business owner, you should be on there.
Yeah, I guess for promotion side, yeah, but for everything else, you know.
Yeah.
I try to keep a low profile on social media.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Like, if I wasn't in business, I wouldn't be on here as much.
Yeah, I mean, just like everything in moderation, you know. I think social media's alright, but
yeah, I'll keep it over on me so I can see questions and stuff that pop up too.
it's just kind of weird how I think like all social media is turning into right now. It's like it's like everything, right? Everything eventually gets commercialized, I guess.
Oh, for sure.
Now you like on Instagram, you see more ads and you see posts or whatever.
Mm.
It's just, you know, it's just like everything. I think that's why there's a rise and the fall of social medias, is because eventually they push the profit versus the message. Or like, you know, these algorithms that are now getting involved and like you see certain things. Like
they're talking about changing that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things they're talking about changing now is like having more of a, like it's how it used to be. It would be based upon when it was posted, like in chronological order.
Yeah.
Your feed. So that way they're not using like an algorithm anymore to decide what they're going to feed you. Because there's a lot of criticism on it because it created like this echo chamber. We saw it with COVID and stuff like that too.
You know what I was doing that with recently? I was watching these Grinch videos just on Instagram. And anything that had to do with Grinch, I was looking at it. And then eventually when you hit like the little magnifying glass thing, and it's like I had fucking like 20 Grinch things, and I'm just like...
Well, then you're going to start getting targeted ads for Grinch stuff.
But you know what? I'd rather see the Grinch stuff than some other shit, you know? And I just kind of like thought it was just kind of funny how like you can... I guess in reality, even though there's an algorithm involved, you still kind of have some sort of control over what you see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, so when you start seeing bullshit, just realize that that's what you're into.
Yeah, it's like, hey, that's what you asked for.
Yeah, exactly.
I think more and more people are realizing it too.
Yeah.
Like, so I'll see stuff on like Instagram, social media. It's like, you know, oh, this is terrible, and someone's like, well, by commenting on it, you're gonna see more of it now.
Yeah, 100%.
Thanks to the algorithm.
Yeah, or not only that, you know what's fucked up? I think like, even though they got rid of the thumbs down, right? I feel like if they would have kept the thumbs down, and let's just say you just start thumbing down all kinds of stuff you don't like to see, for some reason I feel like the algorithm would just keep feeding you that stuff. Yeah. Because you're at least interacting with it, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're giving it a negative review. You know?
Hey, shout out to Karate on TikTok. Good afternoon here. Hey, man, this is over on TikTok. I'm here with my friend David Chavez. If you guys are on TikTok, make sure to double tap the screen, share this. All right, let's get more people over here on the live stream, guys.
Don't just double tap the screen, double tap live.
Love tap, keep going,
double
spam
tap
it.
Everything.
Spam it, spam tap,
Everything.
okay? Spam tap those hearts, man. Appreciate you.
Follow us on Instagram at
Pu'u Muay Thai, man.
There you go.
Yeah, link in bio over here on TikTok. If you guys are listening later on iTunes or Spotify, make sure to subscribe and follow. And make sure to share it with your friends. You know what's crazy?
What's up?
This podcast, we've had people who were listening during shutdowns when we were doing a lot more of them.
Yeah.
And they came in, they're like, man, I found your podcast, and that's what got me in here.
Oh, no way.
I was like, mind blown. Like they're like, some of the stuff that you guys shared helped me out so much during that time. And I knew that I wanted to train martial arts after that. I didn't know if it was going to be with you guys or with somebody else. Mm-hmm. But that was really like full circle moment, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like, I mean, I think as people, since we're kind of like, I don't think we're necessarily going away from organized religion or whatever, but you need a community, you need a circle, and, you know, I think joining a gym is a perfect one. I mean...
Oh, yeah. You need a community.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know...
We're humans.
Yeah,
That's what we need.
We need to have people, and then...
Power social
I mean,
media.
especially during COVID times, I think for, like... I think an actual, like, martial arts gym is the best type of community to have. Mm-hmm. Just because, you know, you interact with people, like... I mean, sometimes after training, we'll stay there and bullshit for another 30 minutes just talking about random shit.
We're just talking about this.
Right, yeah.
And that's why, like, we should record this. We have some pretty kick-ass conversations, you know, good ideas and stuff that come up.
And it's kind of cool. I think the world needs it right now. I mean, it doesn't just necessarily have to be martial arts, but whatever. Go make pots or whatever. Go meet people that, you know, draw or something. Whatever you're into, whatever your thing is, like... But it's kind of cool because eventually, over time, like, you see the same space. Or, like, back in the day, we used to go out to bars and stuff like that. And
you'll see the same people. There's a bar scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Muay Thai world is like that. When you get involved in martial arts, you meet everybody, networking people.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And And not only that, in the gym, it's kind of like the level playing field. I usually call it the temple, but...
Yeah. Well, so Karate on TikTok, he said, major drive of consumers is community and social, regardless of what we do. So I agree. I mean, they talk about... Have you heard of this guy, Seth Godin?
No, who's that?
So he was based in San Francisco. He had this whole idea based upon tribes. And he wrote, like, books on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was all about developing community, branding, and building a tribe. He's like, if you have 1,000 dedicated people to your cause, you can have a ginormous worldly impact.
Well, yeah.
On that. But he would talk about that as the community and social constructs, too. And that's kind of the idea behind, like, this community Discord is just to get a tribe together. Because it's not that big in like, a global spectrum. So if we can kind of all get behind each other and, like, boost each other a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna grow more.
Yeah, it's funny too because there's always that question like, oh, like how do they build the pyramids? Well, fuck, I mean, if I had 100,000 people to do stuff or like start shoveling.
You can do anything.
Yeah, for sure. You can move stuff. You're
not doing it by yourself or with just your small little gang.
I mean, one shovel scoop at a time with 100,000 people, you can move a lot of earth with it, and that's why like when you see like these big structures or monolithic things that were built, it takes people or it takes time and it takes effort, and obviously that's the benefit of the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how does that benefit the community to have a giant freaking pyramid to commemorate a king? Is it to commemorate a period, or is it to commemorate that person?
As far as like having a big pyramid, I
guess we don't know what the actual reason is behind the pyramids.
Yeah.
We assume it's for the kings, but
I mean I would assume it's the same reason why someone has like a star on the Hollywood Strip. It's like you're probably stepping over some people that you never heard of at this point because it's been there so long,
Mm-hmm.
But I think at that point it had its purpose, because those people served their time period. It's just obviously like if you think of the great fighters too, it's like they all have their technique that you've never known. You've probably been teeped in the face by somebody watching somebody's video from like, I don't know, like the 80s or something. Was it the golden era all that time? The 90s? So, I mean, everybody kind of built their own steps. Some people built pyramids, some people built steps, some people put like the star on, Hollywood Strip or whatnot. But I think everybody kind of makes their mark. Obviously, some people's mark is better because you're living in the time of pharaohs and stuff like that. But
yeah, a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I wonder, man, did you hear that there's rumors that there's pyramids on Antarctica?
I wouldn't doubt it. Well, they're saying the Sahara used to be a forest, right?
Yeah, because like the way and they're talking about like right now, with our polarity of the Earth is shifting.
Yeah, I think we take too much importance in ourselves and our time span here. That thinking like
we're affecting the Earth in a different way than it didn't already do in the past. Or?
Well, I'm saying like we think our life period is like important relative to the Earth, but I mean, it's only a blink of an eye. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's a flash in the pan.
Exactly. I mean, just like us as people, we change. I mean, we go from being a baby to being a teenager to now having gray hair. You don't think the Earth does that?
Why you call me on my gray hair?
I mean, it's shining nice in the light right now. Yeah. I think that's why it was. You're gray foxing it a little bit.
Yeah, just dude, I'm definitely going for the silver fox.
Yeah, dude, you're peppering and salting it a little bit.
Yeah, well,
but
that's just part of it. With age and time.
Yeah.
But I can't even imagine. Like I was listening to. Do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is? Gary V.
Oh, I've seen his videos. Never really dove deep into any of his things, but.
Do ants think about the moon?
Do ants think about?
I don't think so. Someone just asked that on TikTok.
You know what I've always thought? Like if you could see the stars and the planets during the day, would we do anything?
Would we, or what do you mean? Like, would we?
Because, like, imagine, like, how you see a blue sky, but imagine if you can see, like, all the stars, like, while you're out and about. Like,
yeah.
I think the life is a little fucked up where, like, the time we're sleeping is the time you can actually see, like...
The universe?
Exactly.
Yeah. Hi, Anxious Noobs, one of our students in Ventura. How's it, man? Glad you found us on Discord, too.
Yeah, shout out to Discord.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Wait, you gotta get on it, man.
Nah.
Come on. It's gonna take some convincing, guys.
Yeah, we'll see.
Did I get a haircut? Yes, I got a haircut. Thanks to my friend.
Looks nice, huh?
Savage the barber over at Tomahawk Barbershop.
Damn,
keeping me clean for the past, 6 years.
Shout out to Savage.
Yes, Savage the barber. Randy's great, man. But I lost track of where we're going.
Yeah, dude, that's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the evolution of thought.
Yeah, whatever. Man, I was showing you this picture of Stamp Fairtex.
Oh, yeah.
So, for my TikTok people, I posted it, but I don't think people quite understand, like, the relevance of this. I'll just flip it over so you guys can see it. So, Stamp Fairtex is a sign. So, Stamp Fairtex, there's only 15 prints of these in existence. 5 of them. So, the one is owned by Chatri Satyatong, the CEO of One Championship. The other one is owned by Philip Wong, that's the founder of Fairtex and the owner of Fairtex. And then the third one is owned by my friend who took the picture, Matt Lucas. Fourth one is owned by Stamp herself. And I think there's one more that's at Fairtex Gym. And then I have one of them, and my friend Patrick Rivera up in Stockton has one. Low-key, I just bought a second one. I think I told you that before.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Matt, he's over on our Discord too. Matt Luke is on our Discord if you want to come talk to him. But he works as social media for Fairtex. It's funny, people are sleeping on that, but I'm putting a lot of those connections back into our community a little bit and make it a little bit easier, more accessible for people.
Yeah, and you were saying something about she's like, was it the third?
The first 3-sport world champion.
Damn.
So in Muay Thai, kickboxing, and MMA.
You know what I'm going to say, dude? No disrespect, but these ladies, they're banging now. Like, when they fight, they go, like...
They're good.
Yeah.
Man,
You know,
and we've been saying that with the women's team, for Muay Thai team for
Yeah.
IFMA. It's been kicking ass, man.
yeah, it's crazy. Like no, I mean, obviously, anybody can fight, right? If fighting doesn't discriminate based upon your, whatever you identify, your sex or your gender or whatever, but... Like, it's kind of crazy because, like, even in the UFC, like, remember when they used, like, was it Ronda Rousey was, like, banging that out?
That was the only one, though. That was, like, the first influence. I was talking to Matt about this. It's, like, it's great to have a good role model for young girls that's not Ronda Rousey. Because Ronda Rousey is, like, this girl who had a chip on her shoulder.
Dude, what about that? What is it, that UFC fight, the Chinese shit? Oh, I think we watched it here in Santa Barbara. Versus where she got the big-ass fucking one.
Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who's from a Muay Thai background. Yeah. Versus, was it Zheng Li or something like that?
Dude, when they went at it, oh my god.
That was a good fight.
It was.
I'm glad they got a good payday for that, too.
It was a good fight. And that's kind of crazy because, like...
Not anybody can fight, in my professional opinion. I think I hear what you're saying, but I think anybody can be trained how to fight.
Well, what's the definition of fighting?
Yeah, what's the definition of fighting? So if you mean fighting professionally, karate on TikTok, then that might be what you're getting on about. Fighting professionally is definitely...
But I mean, anybody can fight.
Yeah. They have to be trained.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think when you're talking about the art of fighting versus fighting, that's two different things, yeah.
Yeah.
But...
Going back onto that, it's like, you know, having a role model like Stamp Fairtex, I think is way better because it's somebody, like the way ONE FC builds up their champions. And the marketing is something that I've talked about here endlessly.
Yeah. Which, I mean, even if, for those of you that aren't looking at the picture, I mean, she's standing in a ring in front of a wall of just champions.
From Fairtex, and they're all men.
Yeah.
It's all men. There's literally no women in the pictures behind her.
Yeah, so she's, you know... That's kind of putting her mark or her step on the great staircase of wherever this is going, you know. Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked, David, have you done any grappling martial arts?
A little bit of Muay Thai, a little bit of BJJ when I was younger.
Jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I did a little bit of jiu-jitsu too. Yeah. We had a jiu-jitsu coach at our academy before, and I've taught at jiu-jitsu places.
Yeah.
And Karate on TikTok asked, you know, hey, he said, sure you can train them in like fighting. But combat mindset, is that training or is that ingrained?
You know what, I think some people kind of have it, and then some people just kind of learn it, or the situation makes them learn it, I would say.
It forces them into that fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's some food, I'm going to take it from you. And then, hey, here's some food I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
There's one person that's going to think differently all the time.
Which I was talking to this because the other day somebody got their first pair of shin guards and they were kind of able to spar. Mm-hmm. Well, not necessarily spar, but at least know the range of kicking, I guess you can say. And, you know, to that end, they're exposed to another side of Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Because if before all they had was a mouthpiece and they weren't throwing kicks, then, you know, they're obviously engaged at a different range. But we're kind of talking about it where it's like, you know, if I give you shin guards, I don't really give you shin guards. What I give you is that distance to kick
Yeah.
What they give you is different openings, different setups. That's essentially what you get when you get the first pair of shin guards, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Because you're exposing yourself to that. And essentially what that kind of translates to is the warrior mindset, right? Where it's like, it's, you're just opening yourself up, or your mindset is now changing to the possibilities,
Yeah, what you're saying here is we're all animals, not all the same spirit.
It's true.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think that comes into DNA, your upbringing as a kid and stuff
For
that too, like how your family is, generations. And that's something that I think Muay Thai, what makes it so vicious, is generations of fighting.
Yeah, the culture, it's ingrained in the culture.
Yeah, just like Mexico with boxing.
Yeah.
I see somebody here, CJ, is it CI Gonaz from TikTok. What tips would you give for a new student to Dutch kickboxing? Be open to everything. Try to listen to your coach.
For sure.
Yeah, that's any beginner. And always keep that beginner mindset. Don't question it in regards to like, oh, does this actually work? Just try it. Maybe it doesn't work for you. Maybe it does sometimes.
Then I would always say is just make sure your fundamentals are 100%, because when you're dead tired, huffing and puffing, that's usually what you fall back on. So if that's flawless, it's going to be flawless in those occasions as well.
Yeah. And I have another question here from Seco_777 over on TikTok. Yes, how do you practice, they asked, how do you practice Muay Thai alone? I see Anxious Noob, he said, think shadowboxing is great alone. Absolutely. And also, part of training is not just the physical, but the mental, which shadowboxing does, which means you can also watch fights.
Exactly, 100%.
That's why we have that live stream of Muay Thai fights on our YouTube channel. Link in bio, plug it. Hey guys, if you're on TikTok, double tap screen, spam some likes for me, share this post, share this stream for everybody, guys. Find a way to make it work is the work that needs to be done.
Not only that, there's books that talk about warfare, right? I mean, essentially, when you're fighting, you're in the mini warfare.
The Book of Five Rings, Miyamoto Musashi were talking about this.
Yeah.
The famous samurai, the swordsman.
That's one of them, too. Like, I guess one of the most, I guess when it comes to, like, Muay Thai or, like, any sort of sport that you can apply is that there's a certain, like, I know I'm terrible, I'm not going to paraphrase this right, but he was saying, like, if you're going to, like, swing the sword, make sure you grip it tight. So essentially, like, you can apply that to Muay Thai. If you're gonna kick, make sure you're gonna kick through.
Commit to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Our coach that we used to have, rest in peace, Coach Fredo.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he'd say, commit or die, man.
Yeah, for sure.
If you don't commit, if you don't bite down your mouthpiece and just throw it, you're gonna get fucked.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it's true, and Miyamoto Musashi definitely drills that. I think one of his things that he said was like, with infighting, which you can apply to clinch. If you're going to be in all the way, like two pieces of paper glued together, because if you're not, you're giving your opponent the opportunity to strike.
Yeah, and not only that, like, I think some people start, like, that's why I think it's good and bad to, like, when you're going to start fighting, like, it's good to know, like, a kick distant range, but then I also think it's better to know infighting first, like, as far as punch ranging, maybe even clinching, because you get comfortable in there, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I think it's easier to start being comfortable in there than having the reserve of being a little bit further back, I would say, in my opinion.
What do you mean?
Well, I think I can just apply it for myself, right? Because I don't think I don't have speed, or I have to kind of use more technique than I do natural gifts. So the thing is, for me, learning to be in there first, I think benefited me in the long run, because I don't have athleticism, I guess, to rely on. I have like being in there.
Ring IQ,
exactly,
fight IQ,
exactly.
Fight IQ.
So I think it's good to know how you are as a person, whether it be genetically, mentally, and all that stuff, and then realize that maybe you are the person who hesitates. So maybe you should put yourself in a situation where you can't. And I think you need to start finding yourself out as you're training or you're on this journey, which is obviously not just for this, but for everything.
So it's CI Gonaz, where is your gym based in? So we have two locations. We have one in Ventura, California, here in the United States. We have one in Santa Barbara, California, here in the United States as well. They're about 35, 40-minute drive away from each other.
Yeah, if the freeway's not shut down, it's 35 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Man, the rain too, man, adds another mix. Oh, yeah. I was hydroplaning this week during.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Me
too,
like once, but you know what? I actually driving up here, like, shout out to the people that are engineering that new roadway, because I think how it's going to cut traffic in the future and how they're extending lanes and stuff like that.
I think it's going to end up being for the better. Just if it just doesn't, please. They've been working on it for like 10 years, man. It's turning into the new 405 that stretches the 101.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting how, like, I guess Caltrans is going into the right way.
And how they're changing the levels of the highway and stuff. Could you, so let's see here. I can't believe there's already 69 people in the Discord. Shout out to our Discord family, our Muay Thai community.
Dude.
Go join the Muay Thai community Discord, guys. The link is in our bio. If you click the link, it's pmtlifestyle.com. Click it, just hit Let's Chat, hit Let's Talk About Muay Thai. It's a purple button, can't miss it.
That holy number 69.
Yes, sir. Well, that is funny, but you had to point that out. Right?
Yeah, it's a holy number.
Exercise for legs in the gym. I love Muay Thai. That's great. Could you speak more on the guys coming in with the axe? Nice to Academy. Oh man, so go nuts. I was just talking to David about this. I was like, man, this guy came in with a hatchet. Into our academy in Santa Barbara. So we're on, both of our academies are on like a main street for the cities we're in. So the one in Ventura is more like Midtown area.
Humble brag.
Humble brag. The first one was by accident, this one was intentional. And then the one in Santa Barbara is like the downtown area of Santa Barbara, and it's a tourist area.
Oh yeah.
So you get a lot of homeless people that come in, and this guy had been around the academy for a couple days. He was a new homeless guy in the area. Called the cops on him a couple times because he was verbally threatening people and standing on our property and wouldn't leave. So, and we have kids that come in and out of here, and it's one thing like to be like there's a lot of homeless people here, dude. They're like, I think we talked about this. They're respectful. They're regulars. They mind their own business. If anything, they pick up stuff.
Yeah, shout out to Jonathan who lives by my place. He's the security guard in the area. He cruises by every once in a while.
Yeah.
He's a homeless guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I give him food every once in a while.
Yeah, so like same thing over here. Like we had a leak, and one of the homeless guys went over and like tried to close it. I saw it on my security camera, and he put a bucket underneath it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hell
it's
yeah.
like,
yeah.
oh man, like hey, that's like a good kind of people to have in there.
Yeah, but for people who don't know, I guess around the world. For some reason in California, I guess there's been like an upswing in like homeless activity in the last.
COVID made it worse.
In the last decade, yeah, where it's like, it's not just like your regular homeless people. It's like your, I don't know. Like,
Did you get that?
Oh no, dude! It's a spam risk.
Spam risk.
AKA.
Why you pick it up, bro?
Whatever. You know what? Actually, one of my coworkers said, if you ever have a quote unquote sancha or a side piece, just
put it as spam risk.
Put it as spam risk, and you'll never get caught. And I was like, damn, that's a good one.
Man. So go back onto this for the homeless guy.
Yeah,
so I called a couple times on this guy because he was doing just weird stuff, and I'd never seen him before. He wasn't one of the regulars. So, the next time he was trying to like open the front door of the academy when I was here with the electrician. He had a fat can of Foster's beer in his hand. He's like,
probably wanted to train, Pu'u.
Man, well, so I was sitting there at the front desk. Our front desk person called it sick that day. So sitting there, Coach Ryan was teaching the kids class, 4 to 6 year olds class. They're way out on the mat in the back, luckily. And this guy just kind of walks in. And I noticed right away. I'm like, homeless guy. I've seen this guy before. I see a stick in his waistband. I'm like, a stick. I can deal with that. But then I realized there's a fat hatchet. It's a hatchet.
Oh wow.
So I'm just trying to do everything I can to try to get this guy out there. And I just talked to him. Hey, how can I help you? Like, just keep it casual. And I guess my tone changed because one of the parents, who's like a former gangster, he has his baby in his hands and he looks at me like, oh, I got your back, bro.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, your tone just changed when that guy came in. So I was talking to him and he was just getting verbally aggressive. He's saying he wanted to be strong as fuck. He just wants to get strong as fuck.
Oh,
and I was like, hey, like, we only train kids here. I can't help you. And he said he was looking for somebody named Thomas Crawford. I think he was saying Thomas Crawford. And I was like, well, there's nobody by that name here. I can't help you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get back to work. He's like, so? And then he's just like kind of like mouth agape. You could tell he was drunk. He's fucked up.
Was he licking the hatchet as he was telling you
No,
this?
he's just, his hand, he's just everywhere. He had like a small box in his hand.
Oh.
And he was just being erratic. I couldn't stand up because he probably would have taken it as me being aggressive.
Yeah, for sure.
I got him to leave. I closed the door. Apparently he went next door to the MMA school downstairs. And I guess he chased him out with a freaking samurai sword. He chased him out of his gym. Next thing you know, the cops are out in front of our place, yelling at this guy with a shotgun drawn out on him. Get on the ground.
Oh, no way.
So, and I told them, like, man, I've called you guys so many times.
Yeah.
And you never showed up on this guy. And now you show up. So, that's kind of the story. And I hope the guy got the help he needed. Man, we've had a lot of questions come up in here. What's up, bro? What's up, Scorpecas? Welcome, man. How to stranger kicks. I don't quite understand that. Do you speak Spanish? David speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Speaks in Spanish, bro. Say what's up.
Órale, ¿cómo andan?
Yeah, I'm practicing on Duolingo.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm trying to learn a little bit just to pick it up. I can't hold a conversation yet, but I know some words.
Oh, yeah, Spanish was my first language. I didn't learn English until I went into kindergarten.
Yeah, that's from Seco777 over on TikTok. You didn't learn English till you were in kindergarten?
Yeah, kindergarten.
Damn. Where were you born?
I was born in Ventura.
You're born in Ventura, okay.
Yeah, but...
Where's your family from in Mexico?
They're actually from the state of Jalisco. Shout out to all the tapatíos out there.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, dude, they're from Jalisco. My dad's from a small little town next to, it's called La Barca in Jalisco.
Mm.
He's like 15 minutes away. And my mom's from a small little town in Mexico next to, I think it's called Ciudad Guzman or Sapo Grande or something now.
Hey, Anxious Noob says, Jalisco, hey, my parents too.
What
Yeah,
up,
his
man?
parents are from Jalisco. So somebody said, Phil, what's up, man? PGMT Journey?
Is that the homie Phil?
Yeah, the one and only Phil. Do you know any good Muay Thai gyms in Detroit? So I'm looking up Detroit Muay Thai on Google. So let me see if I know anybody out there. Detroit Muay Thai.
But if anybody's out there in Detroit and knows a good gym, hit up hit up Pu'u.
Hit us up, man. I want to figure out some places to recommend people at. In Michigan, I'm familiar with the Upper Peninsula. There's Upper Peninsula Muay Thai, or it's like I think it's just called is in Marquette, Michigan. So I don't know about Detroit though. But Marquette, I would recommend this guy. His name is Kun Kak.
Yeah, I guess it would be kind of cool too to know all these places. Like if you ever travel, you're there for 2-3 days and you want to hit some pads.
Yeah,
or whatever.
man, that's why people gotta jump in the Discord.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, let's see, that person who's on here, bugbears are goblinoids. Go hit the link in our bio. Go ask in our Discord. Let's see if we can find somebody for you, man. Is in the area. Any specific exercise to improve balance? My friends are near Guzman too. In the same person, Anxious Noob.
City of Guzman?
Yeah. So, any specific exercise to improve balance? Hey, that's a great question, Vassemeister over on TikTok. I would highly recommend you go check out our YouTube. We have tons of drills and our online university course if you want to get some paid content, but we have a ton of free stuff on our YouTube also. And if you scroll down on our Instagram and our TikTok feed, you can find a lot on there. A lot. So, yeah. So, kind of going away from the Hatchet Man.
Oh, the Hatchet Man, which the guy with the samurai sword was waiting for that opportunity his whole life.
Man, shout out to Mike from Valhalla MMA in Santa Barbara, California. He was. They teach like traditional martial arts too, on top of having like jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Good neighbors to have. But yeah, he's probably like, this is my time, man.
Yeah. He's all looking at the blade like, your time to shine now.
Bro, like yesterday as a joke, I was wrestling with my dad and I do jiu-jitsu, but all I can say is, man, don't leave us hanging like that. I almost got choked out and the dude has no BJJ training and he's a SEAL.
Hell yeah. He's a man.
Killer instinct, man.
That's
got
what
that
it
man
is.
strength.
Yeah.
Got that man strength. Don't mess around with dad. He's the daddy.
He's been, it's like grown man strength.
Yeah. So,
what's up?
Man, I don't know, man. I'm still like fiending for some of those
Empanadas?
Empanadas, man.
Yeah,
Those
we're almost
empanadas.
there.
I know. They're open now, but we're in the middle of our podcast, so gotta keep this going. For those that are out there too,
and want merch,
and want merch, so we have these
PMT.
shirts, Pu'u Tassos, hand drawn by one of our coaches. Again, the link's in our bio for online store. We ship worldwide, so Scorpecas, we can send you some shirts, man.
What is it called? What's the website?
PMTlifestyle.com. It's Pu'u Muay Thai Lifestyle. It's not just this stuff. We got tons of things on there. We have some trademarked merchandise. Eat, Sleep, Tea.
My favorite thing is a fanny pack.
You like the fanny packs?
Oh, I like it because I don't like things in my pocket in case I got a head kick.
Did I give you a fanny pack?
No, I have fanny packs.
Do you have one of our fanny packs?
No, not yet.
I
I've
have
seen
one
it around
in the front. I'll hook you up.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'll hook you up with the fanny pack before we leave today. I use my fanny pack all the freaking time.
Hell yeah.
It's perfect for Muay Thai because Muay Thai shorts don't have pockets in it.
It's perfect for that and stretching,
Mm-hmm. You can just you can always just put stuff into it,
yeah.
and it's good when you're cornering.
Yeah.
It comes in clutch, clutch. Like putting all your stuff in there, your end swells, your like the cut medicine, whatever you need, it's in there.
Not only that, you know what? I think for a long time I drove with the wallet in the back pocket and.
Oh, that's bad for you.
Oh yeah, hell
it's
yeah,
bad for your
it is.
back.
Oh yeah.
Bad for your back.
So now that's why I fanny pack it everywhere, dude.
Hey, if anybody on our Discord that's listening to, I see there's a couple people in there, you can go ask in the generals chat if you have any questions for me, or you can just DM me. You can message me here on Discord as well, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Or if you have any questions for my friend David here. So, for those that don't know, me and David know each other for what? Easily over 10 years, I know that.
Oh, yeah, for
easily
sure.
Over 10 years now. Coming up probably on like more like 15, or like probably 13, 14 years.
Yeah, I would say maybe even 15. Pu'u, we're up there.
Oh, man.
It's been a long time.
And we met through martial arts. So he's actually been on our podcast. We talk more about that on one of our earlier episodes. You can also find the link for our podcast feed. It's on iTunes, on Spotify.
Shout out Fredo.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Fredo.
Did you know I showed you that my book I wrote on fighting I dedicated to him, right?
Oh no! I haven't seen. I've seen the book, but I haven't like.
I sent one to Alex.
Oh, okay.
His sister Alex.
All right.
I dedicated that book to him because he's one of the first people that taught me like how to fight. On TikTok talking about not everybody can fight. Fred taught me how to bite down my mouthpiece and freaking.
Yeah, you know what? He didn't just teach you the technique. He taught you how to be like a savage about it. Like,
like own it.
Yeah, not only that, like he was the type of guy that was like anytime, any place.
Oh yeah, and
like,
he definitely was one of those people that helped me tune in some of my mental prep that I talk about in the book, and I give him credit for it. It's like, hey, like this is stuff that I worked on that works for me, and we use for our fighters because it works.
Yeah, for sure. It's like works. It's kind of crazy because like I mean I went from being a fat kid who just went in there one day. Well, the story how I met Fredo was actually gonna fuck me up one day. We were playing video games and I was just talking mad shit, and Fredo was about, I don't know, 5 years older than me, right? He was about to fuck me up one day, and then I was just kind of like, alright, okay, fuck it, let's do it. And that's actually how we met, because then he just told me to go to the gym. Because he probably saw me, he's like, oh, I would fuck this guy up real quick, why am I going to do it? Yeah. But, how it was, I was kind of like, alright, if it's going to happen, let's do it. And then, and I was just like, obviously stupid and dumb and young at the time, and, so then that's how I started going. He like a good trainer does, he says, well, maybe I could teach him something. Yeah. So he told me, hey, go to the gym. I'm like, all right, showed up. And after that, I was under his wing for, I don't know, 5 years.
With your brother too, right?
Yeah, my brother too. Isaac. Yeah. Yeah, we were in there for quite some time.
I miss your brother Isaac, man. He's a good guy. Yeah. I have Marco Popso over on our Discord. Shout out to our Discord fam, our Muay Thai community over there. What is your favorite way of conditioning? Not necessarily just shin conditioning. Anything from push-ups, squats, etc. So my favorite way of conditioning, honestly, is, man, I don't condition. I just like to put my head down and I just see red, bro. Body just hit the floor. I'm kidding. But honestly, I would say my favorite way of conditioning is jogging. Running, because it helps build up your legs, keeps your stamina high, and it keeps you in the best shape for Muay Thai to keep that, so that way you can recover, and it works a lot on your mental prep too, your mental conditioning as well. That's for me. What about for you, David?
I would honestly, good old school jump roping.
Jump rope? Oh yeah, jump rope's great too.
No.
What do you prefer, a speed rope or a Thai jump rope? No.
It just depends what you're trying to work on, I would say. I think for, like, going rounds, I would use a tie rope. Mm-hmm. But I think to, like, get the heart rate up real quick.
You do, like, interval work, use a speed rope, right?
I would use a speed rope.
Yeah, and it's not as heavy on the shoulders and stuff.
Not only that, I hate jump roping. That's why I think it's such a good workout. Because not only do you work on your cardio, you work on your mental side of being hard and just doing something you don't like. So whatever cardio you hate doing, I would suggest you do that. Because... like I said, you're working at two things at once. So if you hate running, go for a run. Oh, yeah.
You need to do it. You need to be uncomfortable with it. Exactly. The thing is, people with running, that's something else to talk about in my book, is how you actually start jogging. So people think running, they're like, I can't run. And I say, well, I can't run for 3 miles. Like, well, show me how you run. Man, they're full on sprinting. Yeah, I'm like, whoa, slow down. Yeah. I had to show them coach how to jog a little bit. But I talk a little bit about some resources in my book, too. Yeah. If you guys want to order the book, too, links in bio. If you want to check it out, pmtlifestyle.com. I have to plug my book. It's $10. You can get it on Amazon Kindle. We had another question here. There's some stuff going on in a different language. Definitely a language from another country. Cannot quite understand that. Scorpeka said, I watched the Muay Thai and kickboxing video you made. Pretty short and informative. It's pretty good that it isn't stretched out for no reason. I appreciate that, Scorpecas. Yeah, a lot of people try to stretch out their YouTube videos to get more viewership time. And it just, they have to tell you their life story, and then they maybe tell you 2 minutes about what the actual video is about, and then their ads or whatever. It's kind of like you ever look up recipes online, David?
Oh, actually, yesterday I was looking at broccoli cheddar, how to make it.
So how far through their life story, how many paragraphs of life story do you have to get through to find the recipe?
You know what? The beginning is a little difficult.
Yeah, you're like, man, where's the recipe, man? Just keep scrolling.
I think, thank God, now YouTube, like, when you double tap, it speeds up, like, 60 seconds or whatever,
Yeah, if they annotate their videos, you can see where it actually is, too.
And honestly, if you annotate your videos, I subscribe, because that takes so much effort, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, sometimes if I'm just listening in the background, I'll leave it on. Otherwise, I'm skimming to find the content I want or the subject I want. And Scorpicus, I appreciate it, man. If you like that stuff, please share it, because the more it gets out there, and people don't know that difference between Muay Thai and kickboxing. And I think in the history behind it, what made Muay Thai different from kickboxing, what made kickboxing happen was actually Muay Thai. So I think that's very, very important. What do you think about the fighter Remigius Morkavicius? Man, I'm not familiar with that person, Scorpicus. Man, if you could drop me a video link over on our Discord in the videos, I would love to go check them out. They tell the entire history of Muay Thai and how to jab video. That's right, Abominable Saint. They'll tell you, like, the art of 8 limbs, going through this, and like, all right, guys, so this is how you do your stance, and then end.
And jab.
Yeah, and jab. Yeah. It's like, hey, just show me the video, man. That's why I kind of like the YouTube Shorts. Have you seen the YouTube Shorts?
No.
It's kind of like TikTok or Instagram Reels.
Oh, yeah.
They started integrating those, but they didn't promote it that much.
The in-betweens?
Yeah.
Those are good, but, like, I think all social medias are turning into that.
Like what?
Like, even, I mean, you have those on Instagram now, too, right? The
little shorts. Well, TikTok does it right. When it came down to it.
But but TikTok needs to know that Vine was the original.
They didn't adapt. That's the problem. They didn't adapt. But Vine did have a great thing going for them.
Yeah.
But they just didn't adapt and grow.
Yeah.
They kind of settled like, hey, we're the top, and then they just fell because of that. Because as soon as you say you're at the top, you fall.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's like everything. The rise and the fall.
Yeah. Just Google him if you can. He sadly got shot 5 years ago by an AK around 7 times. He had 2 kids. Oh man, did he pass away? I'm assuming he did. I'm gonna look this fight
up. An AK round? Yeah, I'm sure.
Let me see if I've heard of this.
Or imagine if the bullets are so large in his shins, and every time he hits,
you get a freaking bullet into your chest every time he kicks you. Okay, I remember seeing this guy's photo on here. I'm gonna keep his tab open, and I'll check on it. I see he fought more like a K1. I don't see. Maybe there's some. Yeah, it looks like there's some full rules Muay Thai stuff on here too. Cool. I'll definitely have to check that out. Yeah, rest in peace. Thank you for plugging him. I'll definitely look him up. What country is he from, Scorpicus? I'm assuming he's from your country.
Rest in peace, my guy.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. The king. So I'll definitely check that out. Maybe I'll share some of them on the videos in our.
Oh, rest in peace, Vicente Fernandez too. Shout out.
Vicente Fernandez.
Yeah, Vincent Fernandez, dude.
That was a big loss to like Latin community, huh?
I guess he was the Elvis Presley to Mexicans, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as and he was a spiritual dude. People say he was a spiritual person. Is one of the best Lithuanian fighters. Got it.
Oh hell yeah.
So Danny0813, do some shadow boxing. Here's where you're gonna get. That's about it, man. Go watch our videos. Fighters. He fought MMA K1, and he is a Muay Thai fighter from the gym called Titan. That's where he trained at. Nice, man. I'll go check that out, Scorpicus, for sure. If you guys are tuning in and you like the content, please double tap. Make sure to subscribe, give us a follow, share this live stream on TikTok. If you're following this and you like martial arts, Muay Thai, go check out our Discord channel. Again, that's at pmtlifestyle.com. It's in the show notes if you're listening to this later. It's also a link in our bio. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the bios. The link is there. Go check it out. Just hit join chat once you go there. And we were talking the other day about some stuff for fighters and amateur fighters. So amateur fighters here in the U.S., to differentiate, going back onto that, they can't get paid to fight for their performance. But you could sponsor them. They can have sponsors.
Well, it's like the same thing that happened with college sports, right? Where recently they passed a whole thing where they don't necessarily have to get paid by the school, but technically they can get sponsorships now. So it's almost the same thing. I mean,
well, in amateur boxing, they decided there was a thing with it too with USA Boxing.
Yeah,
they're like, hey, can they get sponsorship? And there was like a gray area, and they stopped it for a while, but then they ultimately decided, hey, we need to allow them to have these sponsorships so we can get more gold medals.
But not only that, like I said, if you're trying to make a sport your life, you need the fuel, you need the funds. So the thing is, in order for you to get to the professional level or keep having these type of sports be part of society, I guess, or grow and be a part of the culture, you need to be able to get by with it. Because it's like you hear some stories of like a UFC fighter who delivers pizza on the weekends and fights on Saturday. It's like, if sponsorship was there or is available, maybe, he cuts his hours down. I'm pretty sure he still has to do it, but he can focus more on his craft,
I have a question from this guy, Danny0813. He asked, do you still have dreams to be a Muay Thai fighter, or are you going to coach full-time? So, Danny, my dream's to be a world champion. I never really had a dream to be a world champion. I always saw myself as like a journeyman because we didn't have Muay Thai in Ventura County, Santa Barbara County, like a Muay Thai Academy. So, for me, it was always kind of gaining the experience because we didn't have it in our area, and always seeking out knowledge and able to share that with people, which we're doing now. In regards to fighting, I'm not writing it off, but if I was going to fight again, I have an idea. My friend Matt Lucas gave me this idea.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you should go, like, he's on, be upfront about it. Go fight in, like, Isan, the countryside of Thailand, and, like, document it. Go there for 2 months out of the year and just go fight when you're there. And it's like, it's lower level professional fighting, and you're fighting retired fighters. There's no real weigh-in. But it's fun. More experience. Because for me, I want to just practice more technique, and I enjoy fighting.
Yeah.
And you know this about me, and I'll share this with you guys real quick, and why I think amateurs get sponsored, at least get some money for what they're doing, is, man, I didn't always have the easiest fights. You see me step up in competition where it's like, man, I really didn't have any business in the ring with them, but it's like, fuck it, you're a fighter. Go fight.
Yeah.
That's what you do. There's all these other people cherry-picking stuff. So if that answers your question, guys, that's where I'm at. So if you see me going to town to Isan, I'm probably going to fight. Okay? Shh. All right. Some theories came out that during the time, the reason he got shot was because of the Russian mob.
What?
Got it. Damn, that's terrible to hear, man. But so going back onto the sponsorship stuff.
Yeah.
So we were talking about like how to build up amateur fighters in Muay Thai to be able to get sponsorship money, and me and you came up, brainstormed some good ideas. Because I talked to you this idea about having a promotion over at one of the Indian reservations, right? So I don't want to give too much away about it, but it builds on the idea of being able to tip fighters from, let's say somebody liked your performance and had a way to be able to pay you as a spectator.
Exactly.
And that's really the way that's working, and we're trying to figure out, like, I have to look into the law of it too.
But not only that, the world's different now, right? So, I mean, it's more connective. I mean, somebody from the other side of the world can now watch a stream on YouTube. It's more exposure. Even the transition of wealth or can be done from one side of the world to the other. I mean, people have Bitcoin now. If I send you a 1.00% of a Bitcoin, it's easy to do that now.
Yeah, it's easy. And there's like for Bitcoin, there's no
Apple Pay you, or what's the other, or Venmo you, or something.
You can use other forms of cryptocurrency too.
Yeah.
NFTs.
Yeah.
We have an NFT channel on our Discord channel because there's actually a way that it does relate to combat sports. I can see it. We talked a little bit about it in the financial side for fighters, but also in the way of contracts and stuff like that too, because you can make an NFT contract for fighters for their fights as a promoter, and then I could foresee that getting rid of the need for a bondsman. Like, you don't have to bond you're the promoter, because the money's there because you see it in the NFT for the contract.
I see.
So and then once they fulfill their contract, the money is released to them, to their cryptocurrency wallet.
Yeah, that could be it too.
But there's a lot of ways to cut. But I talked about it with one of our students on our podcast, man. It's it's pretty short. It's like 20 minutes.
Oh, wow, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, the world's changing, and what's pretty interesting is all that's changing, all that's different, but at the end of the day, it's just to push the community and the sport forward.
Yeah, because we want to see it grow.
Yeah, and I mean, to speak on the whole amateur, I think in order to have good pros, you have to have really good amateurs, and you have to make sure they can dedicate themselves to the craft. And I mean, like I said, here we're seeing it in college sports where now, college athletes can have sponsorships because it's a different era where, now you can have 2 million Instagram followers and having 2 million Instagram followers, just having that amount of followers,
you can get sponsors.
Exactly.
And does that all of a sudden make that person pro, or do they just need money because in their job? Like if I'm getting paid to work at Uber and they're paying me $250,000 a year, does that mean I'm sponsored by Uber? Am I pro now in my martial arts career because of that? It's like, no, of course not. It's stupid.
Yeah, in the area of social media marketing and stuff like that, just having that real estate of people, that has a price to it, because all of a sudden now I'm selling this hot sauce and I want to pay you $1,000 a month just for you to say you put this hot sauce on your taco. It's like, why is that your fault, or why can't you not do that?
Exactly, man. Well, I think as it continues to grow, our area, we talked about this too, like Oxnard, or I talked about this with somebody, is in Oxnard and Ventura County. We've had plenty of boxing world champions. We have all the Russians there, the Crusher. We have Vasily Lomachenko, and then we have Tony Ferguson, the May world champion, and now we're getting national champions in Muay Thai through our programs and stuff too. What do you think makes good fighters in our area? Is it the lack of things to do in the area, or do you think it's just like?
Well, I think it's part of the culture, right? It's just part of the culture of the area to fight. I mean, if you grew up knowing that there's some badass boxers, and you're gonna necessarily want to be a badass boxer too. So
there's some putazos, man.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Putazos and tacos. That's what you want? You know where to go. It's like if you want tacos and putazos, then you go to this area, and I think that's something good and something that somebody needs to kind of bring to the light and say like, hey, this area kind of does breed that.
It really does, and I think part of it too has to do with the nature, the blended nature of the ocean. You have the mountains, you have the farmland, and you have a unique mixture of demographic in Ventura County too.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess per capita, it's the most wealthy. I think were you the one that told me that?
The county and the
county,
the
right?
county
The county
is
of Ventura. So
it's one of the most rich in the state.
In the state of California, and that blew my mind because I would have thought it would have been like up in same Bay Area.
Oh yeah, that's one of them. But I think as per capita, it's one of the wealthiest. Yeah.
Damn.
For like 100 people or something.
And then you have these immigrants and stuff like that come into the area that are working. I mean, you get here in Santa Barbara too, but in a different level with the fields and stuff like that there in Oxnard. It's like literally the camp.
Yeah, which I mean that's I think what started the culture. I don't think it necessarily carries the culture anymore. I think the struggle did start all these world-class fighters and made the area into a hub of world-class fighters. But I think what's pushing that forward now obviously is different because the area has evolved relative to what it was, I guess, back in the 80s and stuff like that, 90s. So I think now you're still going to get that same caliber of fighter, obviously now with more elegance now, not necessarily because they need to put food on the table, but because more of they're just addicted to the craft, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as we continue to grow, I mean, man, you told me this a long time ago. And a little humble brag. David always said, when are you going to start your own gym?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, when are you going to start your own program? I was like, no. Like, so he understands, whereas, like, that wasn't the intention.
Yeah.
It just kind of happened.
Even with your whole marketing scheme, I was like, hey, I see all this go. I see where it's going, Pu'u. And I think to hold the sword for this community is you're definitly the person that should be wielding it.
Thanks,
I
man.
would say.
I'm gonna continue to try to be that, whatever that person is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue to try to be that, and if there's other people, like we're talking about you, like for some of the stuff we're talking about doing, like bringing you in on it and stuff, like to make more opportunities for people. That love this, love fighting, love Muay Thai.
But I guess a good message out of that, as in like seeing where you're at right now versus how you started or where you were at there, I think. It's a good message for everybody to see is that sometimes we're moving and we don't understand how far we've moved, and sometimes you need to give yourself that pat on the back and soak it in. Don't let it fluff you up or make you not be humble anymore. But just sometimes take it in and just be like, oh shit, I did do it.
Be grateful for it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, gratitude. That's one of those big things, the gratitude journal. Did you see that we had gratitude journals at the academy?
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Have you ever used those? A gratitude journal?
I used to, but actually what I tend to do is, well, me personally, I don't want to really speak on too much of what I do as far as my career, but
for sure. No.
But what I do is, whatever I want to go, I usually get a business card that relates to that, and then on the back of it, I write down what I need to accomplish to be either in that role or in that position.
Oh, that's a good way to like envision and like project what you want.
Yeah, and literally put a checkbox on it. So I mean, what
it's done.
Yeah, what I did. I mean, in the last leap that I did, I literally took the next position up in my career, and I scratched out the name and I put my name there, and
it's really funny you say that, because I have like this list that I wrote this when I was in Norway earlier this year. So, and there's things that Jonathan wants.
Yeah.
And this is something, and I found it today. And so I was going through all my paperwork and following it. So here it said to have 5K followers on TikTok. We have 5K followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, every single one of you. Appreciate you. To get Pu'u Muay Thai stand-up bar with their own building. We're in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy to think about it, and it's like having these things written down is I believe it is just so invaluable and important.
Yeah, but I think when there's different forms of writing, right? I think is when you're gonna ink it with intention, you gotta make sure that like you understand that that's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you could just write something kind of like, oh yeah, I want to do this, and then not really follow through. So eventually, not only are you making your words pretty much not have any meaning, now you're making your writing not have meaning. So I think you need to understand, like, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna do it. If not, don't ink it.
Well, that's why I have this where I see it every day kind of stuff. Yeah. And that list used to be taped up on something like that. I just found it. I forgot I had it.
Yeah.
But this one here, like, it's like my purpose to impact as many people as positively. Impact as many people positively, like, as possible. That's my purpose.
Yeah.
Okay? And to see that every day is very important. And kind of going into that, do you put those cards anywhere once you write it down?
I carry it in my wallet.
Carry your wallet, so you see it all the time?
Sometimes every once in a while when I gotta pull something out, it comes out with it.
It's my wallet now. But
you know what's kind of gnarly when you write something down like that is you kind of move in that order, and sometimes you kind of do it unconsciously, which I think is kind of important. That's
part of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I had the sign, it went away, but when it got stored away since I was in Norway.
Yeah.
Or when I came back in March.
Yeah.
And then in June we've got this place. Subconsciously, right?
No, it's kind of weird because I mean you're doing everything to get there. I mean the effort, you're 100% responsible for the effort, but
it's
just kind of weird because it turns into breathing. You know what I'm saying? It's just the motion. So I think you just got to be careful with what motion you decide to set. I would say
for sure. Well, let's start wrapping up towards here. I have one more question from Scorpicus, and this could be for me and David. So, do you play video games from time to time? And if yes, what kind of games?
You know what? I actually don't, and I tell my nieces and nephews this. I don't play video games because I play real life.
Yeah.
So that's my notorious thing, and I'm not. I mean, if you play video games and that's your thing, 100% support it.
Yeah.
But it's like recently, like my nephews they're coming into age, right? So like I always tell them like, get ready, you guys. You guys are gonna get the best drug known to man, testosterone, right?
Yeah.
Like, I tell them like, get ready, you know. And I used to tell them these things when they were younger. And they're starting to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like one of them recently, he actually lost 20 pounds, right? He lost 20 pounds. He's a big kid. He's going to be a big guy, you know, but he lost 20 pounds and, you know, because his health wasn't so well.
Damn.
So, and he told me, because he was playing PS5 or 4, whatever the hell is out right now, right? He's playing that all the time, you know, kind of out of shape. His conditioning was off, you know, and then I don't know. The other day he told me I just stopped playing video games and I started playing real life, and I'm like, hell yeah, W for me, you know, because I was like, because I think, you know, like I said, not to shun playing video games if that's what you want to choose, but when you are focusing on one craft, you're missing out on another. Yeah,
and well, like we're living in an interesting time with video game stuff. Like I think that's another thing where it comes into the metaverse and stuff like that too. Like these virtual reality things that are coming out where there's going to be career opportunities and stuff like that in it, and like stuff like streaming. Some people, that's where they're going to be happy. For me personally, like I'll play video games like if I'm totally burnt out.
Yeah.
And I need to force myself to not work. Like, you know me, I literally, like, my work, I live it, man.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's more real than some people will ever know.
Yeah.
For a long time. And you can verify that, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's, for me, I'll play stuff. So for video games, what I'll play is, there's Battlefield. I've got the Battlefield 5, or I think it's Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
I want to play that. I just got Battlefield, I think it's at 2042 or 2092, the newest one, which is okay. I like Battlefield 4. And that's really it. I'll play some fighting games sometimes with my bro.
Yeah.
And that's like just more like nostalgic stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Nothing where it's like it consumes my whole day, and like it's one of those things like, hey, if I need like to unwind, I'll do that, and that forces me to just like disconnect. I don't drink. I haven't been drinking, doing drugs or anything like that too.
But I mean, everything with moderation,
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's something different for everybody. Some people it's like, hey, watching sports teams every Sunday. See right here, bro. Not long ago, seen the weirdest video on TikTok where a girl says to her future daughter, "You are like mommy," or her daughter is trending on Pornhub. Man, I saw that too, Scorpic. I can't believe that stuff, man.
What?
So there's a trending sound on TikTok. It says, "Stormy, you're just like mommy, baby," and the caption was, "When your daughter is trending on Pornhub." It's trying to say like the mom talking to her daughter being on Pornhub and trending on Pornhub.
Oh. Damn.
Dark side of society, bro.
Yeah.
Industrial revolution right there. Battlefield 1 is the best one. Most cinematic moments, to be honest. I like Battlefield 1 as well, Scorpicus. I played that on the Xbox. But the original Battlefield 1942, that's how I got started in it. I used to play Quake and Counter-Strike 1.6. I have Counter-Strike, the newest one. I forget what it's not Source.
Shout out Medal of Honor on Nintendo 64.
You play Medal of Honor on Nintendo 64. Hey man, GoldenEye. You go on Nintendo 64. You play GoldenEye, son.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, but FPS is definitely one of my jams on it. I played a little bit of Fortnite when that first came out, when we had fires and stuff here and the gyms were closed. But that's really it, man. Well, David, let's go get some empanadas.
Let's go.
Before we get out of here, guys, I want to say thank you. Oh wait, before I say anything, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, follow us at
Pu'u Muay Thai
on either on Instagram,
TikTok, Facebook.
And if you're trying to get some good gear, go to
PMTlifestyle.com, Muay Thai Fight Lifestyle shirts. It ships directly to you guys. It's not here in person. It gets all print on demand. If you need something custom, hit me up on Instagram. I can always get your name on it too for a little extra fee. It'll be badass, I promise.
Yeah. Well, me personally, Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah.
Hopefully 2022 is a little bit better than 2021.
Nice.
And like I said, if you didn't get the HIV or the vid, you did good this year.
We're still here, man.
Yeah, that's
even
right.
then, if you're still here, you're still here.
Yeah, even if you got the HIV, whatever.
Yeah, you're still here, man.
Yeah,
they can treat that.
Magic made it.
Thank you for everybody. I see there's some questions over here on TikTok. I'll address those before we tune off there too. But like David said, make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Yeah. Come check out the Muay Thai community server, the Discord server. So it's not just Pu'u Muay Thai. I'm just one of the admins on there. Invite people. Let's come connect, bring our community together. We can talk more, share your training videos, training tips, coaching, matches you want to see, talk about NFTs in the fight world, and let's really see about it. What's the Discord code? I want to join, but I couldn't find it in the bio. Bugs Bears Goblin Noise. So I actually, you commented on the post on our TikTok earlier, and I posted the link on there as a response. If you click the link in bio, just scroll down and hit join chat. It's the purple button. There's also one that says talk about Muay Thai. Just go in, click it, it'll load, click the purple button. You'll see it. Okay, but it's also in the comment on the chat too. But thank you for following up, man. I appreciate you. Also, it's the 29th of January. Man, in 2 days I turn 33.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, man, I made it. We're still on this side of the dirt.
Yep.
Everybody have a happy new year. Talk to you soon. Me and Dave are going to grab some empanadas.
All right, see you guys. Be good to yourselves.
Yeah. All right, that's it today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys are listening on iTunes, please go leave a review. It means the world to me if you enjoy the content, if you like hearing about all stuff that has to do with Muay Thai and what we're doing. Also, there's another way to support us. If you guys visit our Patreon link, it's in the show notes. Also on our YouTube, if you go to pmtlifestyle.com, there's a Patreon link up at the top. You can support us for as little as $5 a month. to get some behind-the-scenes footage, things of that nature, to see what we're doing behind the scenes for Pu'u Muay Thai, what we're trying to get going. Also, you can get some early access clips. You can also get t-shirts, merchandise, and a few other things as perks of being a patron. Again, go check that out. It's at pmtlifestyle.com.